Did you know you can be arrested for drunk driving even if you're parked? So a couple of years ago, we had this client, Eric. Eric had been out drinking with his friends and he was driving home. As he's driving home, he realized he thought he had a little bit too much to drink. He decided he's going to pull over the side of the road and sleep it off. As he's sitting there at the side of the road, he decides to turn the electrical components of the car on and listen to the radio. Short time later, an officer comes along and asks him what he's doing there. And he tries to explain to him he's just taking a nap. The officer asks him to step out of the vehicle and performs the field sobriety test because he thought he drank too much. Ultimately, Eric was arrested for drunk driving. Now, you might be asking yourselves, Eric wasn't driving. How can he be arrested for drunk driving? And the reason for that is because the elements of a drunk driving case in Massachusetts is called operating under the influence of alcohol include three things. First, you're operating a motor vehicle. Second is that you're doing so in a public way, or a way in which the public has a right of access. And third is that you're impaired. Not necessarily you're falling down drunk, but your ability to operate the vehicle safely is impaired due to the alcohol. Now, the first element is what I'm talking about here, operation. Now, operation of a car does mean the normal things like driving down the road that you'd expect. But what it also means is that if you are manipulating any part of the mechanical, electrical portion of the car, that either alone or in sequence with some other portion can cause the vehicle to move, that can be considered operation as well. So for instance, having the keys in the ignition with it turned forward, even though you don't start the car, could be considered operation because you're manipulating the electrical impulse of the car that could start it. Okay. Likewise, if you were to pull on the gear shift, even in, say, put it into neutral or something, even if the car isn't running. Or if you're sitting like a lot of people do, in Eric's situation, they want to be responsible, not drive drunk. They pull over the side of the road, and in Massachusetts, it gets pretty cold in the wintertime, so they leave the car running so they can have the heater of their car. It's just sitting in a parked car, side of the road, heater on, is considered operation for the purposes of a drunk driving case. So it's very important that if you are going to do the responsible thing after you've been driving and you decide to pull over, it's really important that you make sure you don't turn the car on in any way. It's even better if you take the keys, if it's an old car and it actually has a key that goes in, and put them someplace else, the back seat or something like that. Also, don't sit in the driver's seat. Make it so that it's very clear that you have no intention of driving this car. It'll be unlikely you could get arrested for drunk driving when you're trying to do the responsible thing. So if you have any questions about this or anything related to drunk driving or traffic offenses, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to speak with you about it.